Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the finale of What If issei have chaos control? Yes guys, I know it's sad. I have to put a close to this what if. Because if I leave it open, I'm completely gonna forget about it. Just like the rest of my old what if guys that's collecting dust in the freaking corner till actually myself, Ultra, couldn't actually find actually the energy for him to actually finish that what if. God damn it, Ultra, what is wrong with you? But anyways, yes, this is the finale of actually What If Issei had chaos control. But before I get myself into the finale, I have an announcement, guys, an opponent announcement that I will be making. Yes, I talked to actually my creator. Ultra Anime will be actually remaking all of my other old What If guys that I have not yet to finish. Issei Forgotten Clan, Issei Trained by the Sage of Six Path, Issei had flaws of course, Issei actually was in the Shield Hero. I will be remaking all of them guys, so yes. Ultra, you did a good job. Thank you. Oh man, yeah, I did good. But not just that, guys. I have myself a second channel. Most of you guys probably don't know it. My second channel is called Ultra Legends. I will be remaking that channel, of course. That will not be a what if, guys. That will be an anime discussion where I talk about anime, of course, and other anime related things. So pretty much after I'll be talking about waifus, mangas, light novels, anything about anime, guys. I will be talking about it. So pretty much, I don't know when I'm gonna be starting. When I'm gonna actually start uploading there, guys. But until I have my equipment to do so, I will give you guys a heads up. So, anyways, with that out of the way, let's continue on with this finale of What If Issei had chaos control. Darkness. That's what Issei can actually see around him. Destruction. That's what Issei can see around him. Chaos. That's what Issei can see and feel around him. Everywhere Issei looks was just basically chaos and destruction itself, of course. The world will actually come down crumbling. The sky black. Everyone was dead. Issei will look around to see his comrades on the ground. Issei will be realizing that he'll be holding Invalid, of course. And there she was actually fine. She was a-okay. But of course, Issei would feel something dark, something dangerous. He would look behind him to see a creature, of course. As pretty much it would be starting waving in 8 tails, and pretty much it was so huge. It would launch a blast towards Issei, completely engulfing him. Issei will wake up, and pretty much he would be huffing and puffing, sweat covering his whole body. Ingvar would actually wake up, hearing actually her lover Issei, as pretty much she would realize that Issei had himself a bad dream. She would actually hug Issei and pull Issei close towards her, and actually she would sing him a lullaby, calming him down, of course, saying that it would be a-okay, that she is here right now. The next morning, Issei would be actually called by Azazel, and there actually he would tell Issei about the whole encounter with actually Shellbow, of course. Azazel would tell Issei pretty much his fight with actually Shellbow actually a lot of people from different factions was watching, and they were quite actually impressed with his powers, of course. Issei didn't really care by actually all of this, that he was only just eliminated actually some actually Chaos Brigade that was actually of a threat. But that's not what Azazel is here to talk about. He has a mission for Issei. The Chaos Brigade has actually kind of been causing trouble in different factions, of course, and he would like for Issei to pretty much get rid of them. And pretty much probably talk to some of their faction leaders about actually joining them, of course. This Chaos Brigade is quite serious, and they are actually of an organization they don't want to mess with. They are after something, but they don't know what it is. Issei would actually agree to this, of course, seeing that he's actually getting himself another adventure. And heck, he gets to go to different actually factions. So this is going to be interesting. So with this, Issei will go around traveling to different lands, of course, and he'll be actually disposing of actually the Chaos Brigade. Sun will be entering Shinto, Issei will actually disperse them actually out of there. The Shinto actually faction will actually thank Issei for this actually help, and Issei will actually ask if they were actually willing to join allies, of course. They will actually of course join allies with Issei because actually he did save that faction for the Chaos Brigade. And this actually happened to some of the other factions, not all of them but some. They actually they thanked Issei, but they didn't want to join faction with actually him, of course. They didn't quite trust the other faction because of actually that bad attention. But that didn't really actually mind or even bother Issei. But as Issei traveling to actually these factions, he started to piece things together and what the Chaos Brigade were after. He will actually report this to Azazel, and Azazel kinda actually got his curious actually thinking. Could they be possibly actually trying to revive evil dragons? Azazel will actually contact this to actually Sir Zex, Michael, and even actually Gabriel, and even Odin, Yasuka, of course. And even actually explaining actually the situation of what the Chaos Brigade are probably doing and what's their next move to revive evil dragons. This was something that even scared them because they know how evil dragons are. They don't care but just killing actually anybody that gets in their way, of course. Even killing their own comrades. Evil dragons are the worst and they hate to deal with one. The one of them, the most powerful one, was Chronocrotch, and they haven't heard anything from him, which did quite actually terrify them a little bit. As there we go on to actually over different location. In Tartarus, of course. Hades will be in his kingdom, sitting in his throne room as he'll be rewatching the clip with Issei truly evilly killing actually Sherba with this actually unknown powers that he doesn't even know. Hades will actually growl and pretty much he would get up and he would basically slap away a vase that was right next to his throne. The flower will hit the ground, completely draining actually its life force, of course, as pretty much the flower will just be ash, does nothing. Hades will growl and he will actually just walk into actually this room. There in the room we'll see of a girl with actually just white hair and purple eyes and she will chained to a wall. There she will have bruise marks and even actually beatings all over her. Hades will say actually to Lilith that pretty much it's time for her to get to work. He needs her power. Lilith will scoff and actually say to actually Hades how dare he even capture her. She is Lilith, the great devil of all time, the husband of even Lucifer, of course. He will pay for what he's doing. Hades didn't really care and he just basically called one of his servants to actually extract more blood from Lilith. Hades would take out a book from actually his cloak and there pretty much Hades held actually the book of Lucifer. There Hades had a thick grin and there he actually teleported himself to actually the base of the Chaos Brigade. There Ryzen will be sitting in his throne as actually his right hand man, Greyfear's brother, I'm not going to pronounce his name because I cannot, will be serving him tea. Ryzen will see Hades and he will actually smile. Hades, it's been a while since we've seen each other. What brings you to actually my palace? Hades will actually show the clip with Issei face off against Sherba. This pest again, I've been keeping my eyes on him. He's pretty much a nuisance in our plan. What do you plan to do, Ryzen? Well, pretty much I gave you the book of Lucifer. You should know what I want you to do. With this, Ryzen would turn around and Hades will actually chuckle. You really are a madman, aren't you? You're truly evil. Our plans will soon actually come true as we will actually release the Beast of Apocalypse 666. And this world will be deemed in darkness and will be ruled by only us, the evil gods. You shall be known as the god, I should be known as actually the god of death. One who rules the darkness and shadows and even the lives of even others. I should become the true ruler of actually this world. Ryzen will laugh and actually pretty much they will get to work. With Issei, he's pretty much actually having a meeting with actually the rest of the faction leaders, which Issei actually reported that this was a big situation that they all needed to come together. The meeting was not at the same place. The meeting was not at actually school because pretty much that could have actually caused actually pretty much a great distraction and even a great place for them to ambush. Of course, they're not gonna do it. This place is completely secret. So pretty much all faction leaders were there and pretty much tension was just in the air. nobody spoke because of actually how much they were on edge. Yeah, some were actually kind of good, like the angels, devils, and fallen angels. Even actually Yasukai, even Odin, they were actually already good. But some of the others, they were not. They were on edge. They won't actually mistake, and this could be actually pretty much of a great war that they can be actually dealing with. So with this, the one who decided to speak was pretty much Azazel, explaining to them about the situation, what they actually found, this Chaos Brigade, what they're actually after. They will actually explain how pretty much that faction could be in trouble for if actually these evil dragons are even awakened. Pretty much Indra would basically scoff and saying that any evil dragons dare to actually come in my faction shall die. But pretty much actually Sun Wukong would tell Indra that pretty much he should not get too confident. Evil dragons are actually the worst breed of kind. Besides, they're actually not that bad as actually that beast, of course, he will actually quote. Some of them would actually shiver just actually mentioning that, or even actually thinking about that kind of creature that pretty much actually wants to wreak havoc in this whole world, of course. But Zeus decided to break the tension and explain to them how pretty much how they can solve this thing aside. How could we deal with the Chaos Brigade? He's willing to put aside actually this little bit of tension just to deal with actually the Chaos Brigade, because he actually knows that they are a big threat. They are a big organization that are planning on not just actually attempting to take over just actually the human realm, but also the other faction, which he cannot allow that to slide. So with this, pretty much they will actually explain of a plan to deal with this, to pretty much be on guard. If anything should actually happen, they should actually inform each other about this. Some, like Anubis, would basically actually not agree to this, and actually saying that he couldn't really trust the devils, of course, or even the angels. Pretty much actually he would actually just leave the room, as actually he would just say that he has other things to take care of. Some others would actually kind of willing to go out of the room because actually they don't want to be part of this, but if they do, their faction could be on a risk of actually destruction. This is something that they actually know. They are facing basically extinction right now. Evil dragons are actually the worst. So heck, they actually agreed to put actually the pitiful actually pride aside and to help each other once. Probably when this is over, heck, maybe they could be allies, or maybe everything can go back to normal. Probably being tense, of course, but not with that much tense. So with this, they will agree, but before they can even say anything, Indra was decided to speak. He points towards Issei and actually asks what really is he. Not ever in his life he felt that kind of power, something that even surpassed probably even Orpheus itself. Issei kept quiet and he would just say that was actually a gift for him. This would kind of intrigue Indra, and he would actually kind of offered to train Issei. Issei thinks about this, training underneath a god. He could reach new forms and even new heights. Indra had a smirk on his face, and that's what Issei didn't like. He would agree, of course, to train under Indra, and with this, they will actually basically leave. And for the next 5 months, Issei would train under actually Indra, of course. And Indra was pretty much of a brutal teacher to Issei. Indra didn't allow Issei to use his chaotic powers for once, of course. But even without his chaotic powers, Issei was still faster than Indra. He was still slightly stronger, of course, even within his balance breaker. Issei had some hacks, of course, that pretty much Indra couldn't even counter. One was actually pretty much actually to turn invisible, one was actually pretty much to create clones of himself, and Issei one was actually pretty much actually run across actually the whole actually country in less than even a second, even without chaos actually control. So pretty much this truly actually intrigued Indra, of course, but actually Issei did gain a lot of actually powerful abilities from training under Indra for actually 5 months. Even some training from Sun Wukong. Issei now has a better control under actually his chaos powers and how actually it operates, of course. So Issei actually would thank them, but actually, truth be told, all good things must come to an end. Issei would get a call from Verlaine. Something happened, of course, that she needs to talk to him. Issei will quickly actually just run all the way to Verlaine, and there he will meet actually their group. Issei would ask what was the big trouble here, and there Issei would see Orpheus, and she was pretty much actually wounded, of course. She looked so weak, diminished. Her life force was leaving her. They would explain how pretty much Rising Beam actually stole half of Orpheus' power, something that truly actually surprised Issei. Issei actually knows Orpheus as actually the god, or even the goddess of infinity. Stealing actually her power, a huge chunk of that was actually truly much of a dangerous sight. Issei would use his chaotic powers to restore Orpheus' powers completely to full strength, even though Issei pretty much he has infinite strength, or kind of like of a degree of infinite, like Orpheus. This was actually quite of a heavy much power that Issei gave to Orpheus, so yeah. Orpheus would immediately wake up and pretty much actually Issei would actually go on her Orpheus, of course. Then Gin actually heard that she's actually safe. Orpheus showed no emotion, and she would look towards Issei and say that he was the one who gave actually his strength to her. Orpheus would not even ask Orpheus what really happened. Orpheus would explain that Rising Beam stole her powers, of course, and pretty much he's actually probably using it to revive the evil dragon. Issei realized that this is huge, that actually right now they are actually just out of time. So pretty much actually Issei will quickly inform, using his chaos actually powers, in just less than a second. He will drag every faction leaders, of course, to pretty much actually to your academy there in his house. They were truly surprised, and they were actually surprised to see Issei just standing there and he had a sharp face. They were explaining what was the meaning of this and what was going on. Issei explained everything to them, of course, what Rising Beam did. He stole half of Orpheus' powers, everything, of course, to plan on reawakening the evil dragon. This truly actually surprised them, because actually now the Chaos Brigade had a portion of Orpheus' powers, and a huge amount of it, of course. So pretty much Orpheus would actually explain how pretty much the evil dragon are probably likely to awaken in just less than a week, and then pretty much that faction will probably be in ruins, of course. This truly surprised them all. So with this, they will spend actually the next few weeks preparing for the evil dragon's attack. Issei would be in a room of actually the faction leaders and actually few of actually Ray's Parage, Sona, Cyber Orcs, and even actually the Team DXD, of course, to face off actually the Chaos actually Brigade, of course. As actually the group leader, actually Azazel, will start to formalize the strategies on how to defeat the evil dragons. About an hour will pass, they will all leave the room already and prepared for the battle. Issei will be actually looking outside the window, of course, in the grim reality state, as per note, he'll be thinking that this will probably be the tough battle he's ever faced in a while, of course. There he'll be approached by Ingbalo, and there she will actually hug Issei, explain everything will be okay. Issei will hug her back, and Issei will actually decided that now was the time. Issei will go and actually on his knees, and he will actually propose to Ingbalo, of course. When this is over, can they actually get married? Ingbalo will smile, and with this, she will actually plant a kiss on Issei and saying that she will, of course. She will put the ring on her, and it was actually pretty much quite powerful. The ring emanated so much power, fused with chaos itself. Issei explained that that was a chaos actually engagement ring that he made from his power. Ingbalo would actually love it, and there Issei would explain about actually her sister, her half-sister, and what was actually her business, of course, and what was she planning on doing. And since actually Catherine was part of the Chaos Brigade, she did give useful information. She joined actually their side and gave information on how actually they will attack and how they will go about it. So she kind of feels confident about it, and pretty much her sister will not betray her. Yeah, even though they may not be bloodly fully related, but still sisters are still sisters, of course. Issei will smile, and with this, Issei will be called by Azazel to go to his actually location. It's now time for the battle to commence. Issei would actually kiss actually his wife for the very last time, and there pretty much actually he will go to actually his place. There he'd be partnered up with Cyber Orcs actually team, and there would actually just actually the Joker of Michael, of course. This is where actually they will actually be facing the evil dragon. The sky will immediately turn dark and pretty much chaos will be spread around the whole place. One black dragon came up from the ground, pretty much busting into the sky, of course. The dragon was huge, and not just one, but two, but not just two, three, four. A total of actually 50 of them came flying around, of course. And this was truly actually something that terrified some of them. Some of actually devils and even angels started to charge the evil dragon, and that's what they did, of course. They fought. Issei and Cyberorc stayed close together as they actually fought off some evil dragons that were basically flying too close. Issei would actually boost Cyberorc's power to actually have a high degree, since he'd been training with Issei from time to time, of course. He would completely punch the evil dragon, sending him flying backwards, completely killing him in an instant. But more kept on coming, as Issei actually started to create clones of himself, and the clones started to easily take down the Chaos Brigade, Issei not even using his even balance breaker state. This would actually truly be actually over an even end of actually Issei's actually part, but actually the other places was completely different. Ingvar will be actually placed in the team with actually Sona and actually Rias, and they were actually having some difficulties, of course. But they actually managed to even survive. That even some parts, like actually pretty much Vex, Michael, Azazel, and some of the other faction leaders started to actually have some difficulties. Because pretty much they were not just dealing with evil dragons, but super devils too. This was something that actually Riserbeam and Hades collaborated together. They actually created some super devils that was pretty much imbued with the power of chaos, Issei's own very power, and they started to get wiped out completely. The forces started to shut down as actually they started falling one by one, and actually Issei noticed this, of course. Issei will completely actually handle everything on his end and completely rush to actually the others to try help, and they will actually pretty much take down the evil dragons quite actually easy, since actually Issei is imbued with power of chaos. He will even use his balance breaker state to even take care of some of them. Not only going to his super state for quite over 3 seconds, just to actually quickly take them out. Eventually he will actually reach the faction leaders, as he will see them all down on the ground. Some of them even started to bleed out. Some were even dead, even some actually started to lose all hope, of course. Issei will look up to see Riserbeam and Hades there, but Issei will realize something, that there was devils behind them, but they were not your typical normal devils. These were devils that were imbued with the power of chaos, something that Issei only has access to, and Ingvar, of course. As there, pretty much Riserbeam would chuckle. So this is the Red Dragon Emperor. I should thank you, of course. Your power was quite splendid, and of course with the power of Orphis, I never felt such alive to build such an army like this. You should be grateful. You made me actually have the chance. You gave us the final power that we needed for our plans to succeed. For this is not just actually the beginning, no. No, this is not the beginning. This is merely a rebirth of a new world that we are going to create. This is the birth of darkness that we all crave for. Reveal yourself. Beasts of Apocalypse 666, Riserbeam would say. As pretty much the lands would start to crumble. The sky started to go dark. Issei remembers this is the same dream that he had. Everywhere around him was chaos and destruction, of course. There Issei will see the Beast of Apocalypse. There, and he was actually just now growling. And now the evil dragon started to attack the whole underworld. Even actually different factions, even Earth itself. Issei wondered to himself, how could he let this happen? How? He was foolish. He gave the power that actually they all craved for, the power of chaos. Issei actually thought that pretty much he could not do anything now, but just to see all his comrades just falling down one by one. But Issei was snapped out of it as he was slapped by none other than Ingvar, his own wife. Ingvar would tell Issei that pretty much he was the one who actually saved her. He was the one who actually saw hope. he is hope for them, of course. He has the power to stop this. This is actually his doing, so pretty much actually he doesn't need to do it alone. He has actually his friends. He has everybody, of course. And they will always actually be by his side. The bonds that he created, the actually training that actually he did for them, he did it for them to actually give them a chance in life, of course. This is actually something that actually Issei always wanted. A friend, family, comrades, of course. That he doesn't need to do this alone. He has friends. So pretty much Issei will smirk. He will see the actually the spiral. He will place actually of a thumbs up that he's not alone. Reyes will smirk too and saying that pretty much they will actually go down. If they were going to go down, they will go down together. This is what friends would do. Issei realized this and pretty much he was foolish. He will actually start the power up, and with this, he will shoot a blast of chaos towards everybody, as everybody now was actually imbued with the power of chaos emeralds now, as their hair started to change to that to blonde. Issei actually started to say that pretty much if they're gonna die, they will die with honor, defending something was right. As all of them will actually charge in, and actually they will start to face off evil dragons and even super devils, of course. As Issei is actually flying in towards Riser Beam, he was stopped by actually a green-haired girl, of course. The green-haired girl is pretty much smirking. I finally get to fight you for the very first time, actually. I'm getting super excited. Show me, Red Dragon, show me how powerful you really are. Issei would ask who is she, and the girl would introduce herself that she is Revere, that pretty much she was actually created by the book of actually Lucifer and the blood of Lilith, and also Issei's own power. So you can call her pretty much our ultimate hybrid, if you actually like. She wants to fight actually him. She wants to fight actually the strongest one. As actually Issei would actually say that he doesn't have time. And Revere would actually block Issei. That he is not getting through until she gets herself a fight. Issei and Revere will start fighting, of course, and truth be told, this was quite actually a intense battle. The whole place would be actually chaos itself. Everybody would be fighting the hardest, and they were starting to destroy the evil dragons, of course. And one by one, they actually started to win. They started to push them back, of course. And with this, Issei decided to go to his actually maximum state. He went to his Super Juggernaut Drive. This would actually truly shake the whole planet. And not just the whole planet, but kind of like the galaxy itself, of course. They never felt something like this. But actually, Revere would actually chuckle. She can do the same thing too. She will power up to the same power of Issei, but still keeping her normal form. This will truly surprise Issei that she's able to evolve to actually the same state as that Issei is on. As the two of them will clash, clashing blows to blows to blows, shooting magic attacks, of course. And actually Issei actually kind of grabbed her by actually his head, slamming her towards the ground. This is where pretty much actually she will be crumbled by actually robots, of course. Issei will fire a blast of actually draconic chaos towards her. This will actually cause a huge explosion. Once the smoke dissipates, you will just see actually her just standing there, beaten up, but at the same time she just laughs. She's just enjoying this battle. Issei sees this, that she's a battle maniac. He kinda likes it, but he can't spend too long fighting her, of course. He has to deal with actually Trexia, and he's the only one who can do it. So Issei will completely actually brush her off and trying to fly to actually stop Trexia. Trexia already started to split its body apart. So Issei decided to take one of actually Trexia one by one. And with this, the battle continues, of course. And this was actually a long fought battle that even lasted for about like 2 days. This truly drained them all. Even some started to die, of course. And Issei realized this, that as much as they actually fought, heck, this is actually pretty much of a one-sided battle. It's the one who actually has more stamina, who has more raw power, will come out on top. Issei slowly started to lose that. Their power started to diminish, of course, and even some started to actually feel the effects of Trexia's powers, of course. And heck, they even started to die. Issei actually thought that if he didn't think about something quickly, this world would be engulfed in darkness, like his dreams. Once actually pretty much Issei would actually be tired, he would immediately drop out from actually his golden state. Trexia would actually once regain his actually form, grabbing Issei of course, and started squeezing the life out of him. He would throw him toward the ground, and then he would start stomping on him like he was nothing. Issei continues to be hit down to the ground completely in a dark and abyss crater that you can just hardly see. Issei was just floating in this darkness. It looked like this is the end. He couldn't protect anyone, but at least he ran out like a champ. But a light would actually start to glow in front of him. You're not done yet. You still have more power within you. Use my power. I shall lend you more. The voice will once speak. Issei will open his eyes to see what's happening on the green glow. The Master Emerald, what are you doing here? Why? I actually felt your struggles, and actually I felt how pretty much you sacrificed half of your powers to your friends for you to protect this world. That is something that a guardian should do. And with this, I give you the gift of actually my ultra power. Use the power of true chaos itself to put a stop to this once and for all. Issei will be engulfed in a white light, and pretty much actually as the battle once actually continued, everybody started to lose of course. They all diminished from this golden effect of course, after wasting and spamming actually their life, their energies completely to zero. Trexia was actually starting charging over actually over beam attack, ready to incinerate everyone there and wreak havoc across this whole world of course. But Issei would come out from the crater in a white light that pretty much actually was kind of like a beacon. Everybody will actually look up speechless, and then you would just see Issei with his white hair and actually crazy actually red eyes. And with this, he will have a new look to it. There actually, he will see dragon wings appearing from actually his back. His hands were covered that in scales, and pretty much actually he kind of took a form of that of a dragon. With this, Drag would actually contact Issei and saying that if he's ready, this will be actually the final battle they ever fought. And if they die, he was actually happy for him to have him as a partner. No, not as a partner, but as a brother of course. Issei did the same thing to Drake. He saw him as a father, and also like a brother. The two of them will look towards Trexia, and the two of them would charge, completely wiping the floor with Trexia. He would grab Trexia, sending him across different dimensions of course. But he didn't stop there. He grabbed Trexia by the tails, of course, ripping one of them each apart. And pretty much Trexia would start to regrow them. But Issei shot actually chaotic blast, completely actually destroying half of Trexia's body. There, Issei will launch Trexia into the dimensional gap, and there, the two of them will have their battle. The battle will commence, but Issei had more power building up within him every second. And pretty much he started to heal himself. He started to heal everybody in the battlefield. He started to actually give them more chaotic power for them to continue to fight. And this was enough for them to actually kill some of the ultra actually devils, even actually some of the evil dragons of course. They all started to retreat, but they were not going to allow this to happen. This ends right now. Issei would grab Trexia by actually the chest of course, and with this he would start extracting actually Trexia actually powers out of him of course. He started to absorb it within his own body. Trexia tried to regain his powers back, but truth be told, Issei was just far more stronger than him. He absorbed everything from Trexia had of course, and pretty much Issei started to lose a little bit of control. But of course, from the voice of Ingvald, he finally found actually his calm tempo. There actually he will regain control, and there Issei would actually look at Trexia, and with one final blast, he will incinerate Trexia. He will actually use his dragon signature cannon force of destruction, and there he will fire at full power, completely incinerating Trexia completely, body and soul, putting the end to actually the beast 666 once and for all. Once the battle was over, Issei will return to the battlefield of course, and there he will see the destruction and everybody just winning. They will all celebrate and cheer of course. Even some would actually cry from losing a companion. Issei thought that pretty much this shall not be the end. Issei will go and raise his actually finger, and with one actually snap, everything will go back to normal. Everything will go back to how it was. Right now, we basically have a time skip of course. Issei will be actually pretty much actually waking up by an alarm. There actually Issei will be feeling actually somebody just holding him. He'd be surrounded. His whole body feel heavy. you see Ingval, of course, there in bed with him, and pretty much actually some of his other harem, like actually Tiamat, of course, and even actually Malay, and yes, Reyes, Akano, and even some of them, yeah. And pretty much Issei realized that it was actually just his wife. Issei would actually just wake up and actually he would hear bursts of noise, of course, coming from actually outside the room. The door would open and pretty much actually you would just see little kids, of course, jumping on their parents' bed. Yes, it's pretty much been about a few years since Trexia, and Issei married actually some of the girls, of course. And they actually lived just a happy life. And this is where the end of the What If will come. And yeah, I know, it's pretty much of a strange What If, guys, and I kinda actually like this actually story. Yeah, and I know this is not some of the ability that Ultra Sonic actually does have, and pretty much actually Ultra Sonic is way more powerful. At the same time, guys, I wanted to keep a little bit nerfed because if I gave him the true Ultra Hyper form, yeah, he could just one-shot Trexia and everybody would just be going home, guys. So yeah, this is the end of What If Issei had Chaos Control. I hope you guys liked this, and with that out of the way, I am out.